Hello there, and welcome back to Ramen and Tacos. So this video is the 10 things that surprised me after moving to Japan. So a little bit about me and Japan. I have been visiting Japan as a tourist, as a guest since 2008. So this video isn't about the culture shock one might experience as a tourist. This is more of a personal list of things that surprised me after moving here to live here. This one's actually one of my favorite things about Japan. I don't know that it's exclusively to Japan. I think I've seen it common in Europe, but man bags. Seinfeld said, remember that man purse episode? Well, in Japan, it is extremely common for man to carry man bags or man purses. There's different styles, obviously. Some of them like to have the side bag or something that looks a little bit more like a briefcase, backpack. And some look like the stereotypical women purse from the West. Regardless, I love it because in Canada, I was always frustrated that women had to carry everything in their bags. But here, men carry their own things. Finally, some balance. This one I'm still learning about. Cleaning up after your pets. So 11 hasn't arrived in Japan yet, but we are trying to learn the mannerisms and rules of Japan or Yokohama before she arrives. Yokohama is super pet friendly, but things we have noticed is the lack of garbage bins. And in Canada, there's public garbage bins everywhere for you to dispose of your dog's waste. But here, garbage bins aren't as common. And I don't think you can go dump your dog's waste in a public bin. So would probably mean you have to carry your dog's waste back home. And I'm not 100% sure on how that is disposed of. I know that it is recommended, for example, for if you have a child, to clean your child's diaper waste in the toilet before you dispose of the diaper, which is a whole... But poop waste aside, I've also noticed that many pet owners here carry a water bottle, not for their pets, but to rinse off the pet's pee on their walks. So yes, I am still getting used to the idea and a little bit scared of how that's going to go once 11 is in Japan. Sunglasses. Back home, sunglasses are a must-have. Yes, even in Canada, when it's snowing and you don't want to go snowblind, sunglasses. But I have found that in Japan, sunglasses are definitely less common. I've heard they can give off a bit of a mysterious, something to hide, Yakuza vibe. But honestly, if the sun is out, so are my sunglasses. Now, instead of sunglasses, what I find more commonly used in Japan is like the the sun hats or parasols or sometimes even caps. Masa is not anti-sunglasses. He just doesn't use them all the time, at least not as much as me. And what I find most funny about that is that he has Photex sneeze reflex, which means that when the sun hits his eyes, he starts sneezing. I keep telling him that sunglasses would help, but he just powers through. Although if he is driving and the sun is out, he will wear his sunglasses. As long as it's not a formal or a traditional setting, I think sunglasses are fine. And to be honest, I think you're protecting your eyes. Katakana words. If you've ever studied Japanese, you know that they have a very interesting writing system. They have hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Katakana is a writing system used for foreign origin words. I have previously studied katakana, and I actually thought katakana would be the easiest to learn, but I was wrong. My favorite writing system is hiragana. So katakana. This is what I did not expect. Katakana words are more like a Japanese friendly pronunciation. Sometimes I have no idea what the word is supposed to be. And even Masa has found that to be tricky, trying to re-assimilate into the Japanese work culture, where he knows the Japanese words, he knows the English word, and then he's trying to figure out what this mystery word is. I used to have a Japanese teacher many years ago in Canada, and he was fluent in Japanese. Obviously, he was living in Japan. And he said that the katakana words for him were the things that would stomp him. For example, he was talking to someone and they mentioned computer, but his brain was processing in Japanese through his vocabulary in Japanese, but he couldn't figure out that computer was computer. I mean, for me, that one's an easy one. Or one that's kind of thrown me off is, although katakana is meant for foreign origin words, they will use the writing for Japanese origin words, which is very confusing. I was discussing it with Masa, and we think that it gives it a different feeling. Like maybe it comes off as more hip if you write it in katakana. We were watching a drama once, and instead of writing sayonara in hiragana, they wrote it in katakana. And Masa said that it gave it a really scary feeling. It is something I am still getting used to here. The fusion of foreign and Japanese words and modern slang. Product design. If something seems complicated in Japan, you are probably missing the design feature, or you're doing it wrong. The packagings are all designed with a purpose in mind. For example, one of my favorite design features in Japan is the color marker stitched on the fitted sheet, so you know what side goes on the mattress. That would have saved me so much trouble in Canada. I've tried to open things wrong many times, and I am still getting used to the design features in Japan. Another random fun fact is Japan does not really have flat sheets for their bed sheet, which is okay. I'm just getting used to it. So this time that I went back to Canada, I made sure to bring a full set with the flat sheet. Baths. I find that baths in Japan and baths in Canada are very different. So in Canada, baths are more of a luxurious thing. I mean, you can take a bubble bath and like deep clean. But in Japan, I associate baths with more of a like an onsen feel. So it's more about sitting in there and soaking as opposed to washing yourself. Usually you do all the scrubbing and all the cleaning before you get into the bath. Somewhat like a hot spring, or I would hope people in a jacuzzi. Yes. For me personally, I still find it a little bit time consuming because I just want my shower. I have embraced it more in these colder months because of winter and just feeling cold all the time. So I have started taking baths or soaking in the bath culture. This one makes me so sad. Deep tissue massages. Okay, there is massages in Japan. I believe that they have a famous shiatsu pressure massage. Generally, massages in Japan are more about relaxing, and many of the actual pressure massages are with your clothes on. So, if you're looking to get a massage, you can get a massage at a physio center, a spa, or at a resort. A spa and a resort might have a little bit more of that privacy. And the physio ones, you can get more of a pressure massage, but it is with clothes on, or it's not as private. So what I've seen is most of these massages are in an open space, generally with your clothes on, and you just get a curtain as a privacy wall. In Canada, if you're looking to get a massage, you just get a massage. Like you get a massage every week, every 2 weeks. It's easy, and you get like your own private room, and you wear only the essentials. I've even found some massage parlors here only accept female clients, and I'm pretty sure I know the reason why. So completely understandable. Or you can go looking for a different type of massage, such as a Thai massage, or I don't know if I'm saying this right, a Uvertic massage, which I have had before. Really great massage, but super oily. And you can find a deep tissue massage probably in Tokyo, which sucks because I'm not in Tokyo. So if you're outside of like one of the big cities, it's not as easy to get that deep tissue massage. Humidity and mold. So I had been warned before I moved to Japan by Japanese people about the humidity in Japan and mold and how that is a big problem here. Being that I am from El Salvador slash Belize, I didn't really think twice about it, probably because people use strong cleaners regularly. If you know the stereotype, we love to clean with Fabuloso. I always saw them cleaning with bleach and other strong detergents. Here in Japan, there are so many anti-mold products. There is charcoal packs, moisture absorbents, sprays. There's this like smoky fume thing you can set up in the bathroom that will help kill the mold. For example, we have a mat that we put between our bed frame and mattress, and it has a changing color sticker on it. So if it changes color, that means we need to air it out, and then when it changes back to its original color, that means it's good to go again under the mattress and keep collecting moisture. So that was definitely something I had to get used to, investing in all these items to prevent mold. This one I've mentioned in my previous videos, recycling. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, well, maybe it's not that complicated. Back in Canada, I've lived in different provinces. So I've lived in Alberta, I've lived in British Columbia. So I'm a little bit used to each province or a different city or a town having different rules as far as garbage disposal, compost, recycling. But I found that Japan's system is more, I don't know if complicated is the right word, but it's more disciplined. You do have your burnables, your non-burnables, your plastic, your vinyls, the way of you dispose of sharp metals, broken glass. You're supposed to almost pick away at your item to make sure everything goes to where it's supposed to go. The garbage bags are usually transparent, so if you're not doing it right and you're the one hauling your wrong garbage out, like it feels like you're going to cause trouble for your neighbors or the neighborhood. I've heard that's actually a pet peeve in Japan that many foreigners do, where they don't properly dispose of garbage and recycling. It's a huge issue in Airbnbs. Yeah, if you want to be part of the community, you should be doing it right, because you don't want to be the one that's taking out the wrong garbage. But I think I'm getting used to it. It's different, but I think I'm getting used to it. This one's slightly personal. Body odor. As many foreigners may know, Japanese people have a fame for not smelling like BO. I am a foreigner though, so I am smelly. It does not help that I am stress sweating because I am naturally anxious all the time. I had not visited Japan in the 39-degree summer heat before, and that is when we chose to move to Japan. So that was a nightmare. I do find that deodorant here is more limited. Luckily, the last time I did come to Japan was just coming off the summer heat, and I found some great deodorants that work for me. Although Japanese people, the majority, do not have that strong foul BO odor, I have found there is a musky smell, and it smells a little bit more like an old man who hasn't showered. So when they say that Japanese people do not smell, it's not completely accurate. They just don't have that strong body odor. And some Japanese people do have that strong BO odor, as we've experienced. So those are the 10 things that surprised me after moving to Japan. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you've experienced maybe culture shock as a tourist, or culture shock after moving to a new place. Thank you. Bye.